Hey, it's Nicole, and it's been a while. Welcome back to Young and Stuck, the podcast about all things about growing up and going through your early adult life. It's been a while. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I was feeling stuck myself. For a while, I was in this limbo between not being able to upload and feeling unsure of myself, but with some good self-work and reflection, I'm back. So, this week we have Neema Nazeri on the podcast. The episode is called Becoming Neemanaz. Neema is a friend of mine. He's a comedian and an actor. You can find some of his really funny content online on platforms like Instagram, Twitch. He's in a new show on Amazon Prime called The Boys. And he has some really good insight on life, experiences, and finding what's true to you and following your passion. So I think he has a lot to bring to this week's episode, and I'm just really grateful that you're here and listening. So without further ado, here we have the episode. Welcome to the 10th episode of my podcast, Young and Stuck. I'm super grateful to have you here. How's it going today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How's your quarantine been?
It's been good. I actually don't mind being in quarantine, so it's been fun for me. We've been able to work on myself and do some fun things and not see a lot of people, which is nice.
Has much changed for you then?
No, not really. I mean, like, the only thing that's changed for me is just seeing my friends and also just going out and doing stand-up because that's all I do. It's literally all my whole life.
Yeah. But you missed that for sure.
100%, yeah.
First off, I'll let everybody know you are a comedian and actor. How long have you been an actor for, per se?
I've been doing this since like 2014, so like November 26, 2014 was like the first time I ever like posted a video on anywhere. I started like acting technically, and then after that I just started doing stand up and shit like that. So
okay, cool. So what have you been doing in the meantime without being able to do stand up? Like with quarantine, have you been doing anything to try and like supplement for it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm doing a lot more live streams on like Instagram and YouTube, and yeah, just more videos, I guess, content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, live stream. Have you been using Zoom at all? Did you say Zoom?
No, I mean, kind of like a couple times, but not really. Like I might do it more, but I don't know. I just prefer the fucking real thing, to be honest. And Zoom is not cutting it.
I get that.
But I don't know. I've done it a few times. I've done a few Zoom comedy shows, and it's like whatever. It's just me talking to my laptop. So
yeah, I get it. Even like from the perspective of like recording a podcast, this would be sick if you're sitting across a table with like coffees and shit. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, for sure, yeah.
So thank you for giving me about an hour of your time today. I wanted to kind of bring you onto my podcast because out of a lot of the people I know, you've demonstrated kind of perseverance and achieving your goals and reaching your goals very well. And that's something that I've always kind of liked to be able to talk to you about, bounce ideas off of you, because I feel like you have that good insight where you can kind of see the big picture and you're able to kind of navigate those times that you are stuck and move past them. So I wanted to kind of bring you on and just have like a casual discussion for the people that are listening and kind of about how you got to where you are, some of the things that have been hard for you throughout reaching the kind of the point where you're at, where you're growing quite rapidly and quickly. So I guess first off, like you said back in November 2014 is when you first posted something. What motivated you initially to start posting online?
I dropped out of university that's like September of that year.
Mm-hmm.
I was planning on dropping out throughout the summer because I was at University of Toronto studying kinesiology, and I didn't really like it that much. I was just kind of like doing it because I kind of had to, and then I found comedy in the summer just throughout a friend. He showed me like a few comedy clips of like some people on YouTube, and then that's when I started falling in love with YouTube and seeing a lot of like funny videos and stuff like that. And I was just constantly like catching myself just binge watching these videos every day, and like barely like listening to my lectures and shit. And like, you know what I mean? And then like in the summer, my friend was like, yo, let's go to a comedy show. And I was like, what, a comedy show? I've never been. So after I went to my first comedy show in the summer, that's when I really realized, I was like, oh, okay, shit, man, like this is fucking amazing. I'd love to do this one day. And then like throughout the summer, I just kind of like was thinking about it a lot. And then I dropped out in September, and I was like, okay, well, I have to, because like I was supposed to get into the comedy program at Humber, um, for the next year, obviously, because I was already too late to get it in that year. But so I had to audition in February of 2015 to still like get into the program. So from the time of September 2014 till like February of 2015, I had to find a way to like do something while I was waiting to do this audition. So I was like, okay, let me get a head start. Let me just not wait till the audition to do this fucking thing. Let me just start doing something on my own. And I was like, oh, I love YouTube. I can do YouTube. I was like, yo, I've always wanted to make videos and make people laugh and shit. And like, I know I can do that already in my daily life. So let me just try to do it on camera. And then I just started my YouTube channel, and then I started posting. And then every week consistently for like 2-3 years straight, I was posting after that. So yeah, that's pretty much.
When did you start on Instagram?
Well, I was always on Instagram, but like posting like regular content videos, I started February 14th, pretty much, of 2019.
Yeah. So okay. So last year.
Last year, yeah. So it's been almost a year and a half, pretty much, or a year and a half at this point, yeah.
Going into kind of making a big life change from being in school at U of T, taking kin, to maybe feeling like this isn't what I want to do, but having a more artistic, passionate side and feeling that calling.
Yeah.
Was it nerve-wracking kind of making the decision to leave school and go and kind of stand on your own 2 feet and be like, I'm gonna do this myself? Was there support from your family? How was that for you at the time?
I just kind of knew what I wanted to do, and I had my vision set to like, yeah, I'm gonna drop out and I'm gonna pursue this path, this career path, because I'm like, fuck it, like this is what I love doing. I already know I love it, and I think I'm good at it, and I think I can do it. And I just like there's nothing else I would want to do at this point. Like I'm so tired of academics. I'm like, I've been doing so poorly my whole life in academics. Like, even though I've done like not poorly, but like just without any like passion for it and interest. I've just been kind of like passing by doing academics my whole life. So I was like, yo, like, why don't I just try something I enjoy doing that I would enjoy doing on a daily basis, which is making people laugh. And because like I didn't know that this could be a career path until I found out about it. So once I found out about it, I knew I was like the funny guy always, or like, you know, I can do accents, impressions, make fun of my friends, make fun of my family, like, you know, just act like the people doing movies. I just never knew that this could be a career path for me until I realized one day that it could be. Then I was like, oh, okay, well, full circle. I'm connecting the dots here. And yeah, if this could be a real thing, then why not? So I just kind of went for myself. And then I told my parents too, which like they obviously were kind of disappointed at first because they're traditional Middle Eastern parents, and they don't really know this career path. Like they just know like the engineer, lawyer, doctor, failure. That's it. Like there's nothing else. So it was kind of disappointing to them at first because they didn't really understand what comedy shit was. They're like, comedy, like what? You're gonna go to school for 2 years doing what? You know what I mean? How are you gonna make money? How are you gonna do this? How are you gonna do this? All these questions. Just a lot of worrying, right? And then which I understand. I get where they're coming from, but yeah. At first they were like that, and then they're like, okay, well, like if you're gonna do this, then you have to be 100% into it. You can't come back, because if you drop out, there's no going back. Because it's a tough program to get into at UFT, which I'm pretty proud of getting into, but also didn't fucking matter because I didn't enjoy doing it. So what's the point? What's the point of wasting money doing 4 more years and then eventually just not wanting to do it after anyways, right? So after a while, when I started like that's why I started like that's where like initially my motivation came to like, okay, well, fuck, like this is serious now. Like as much fun as it is, and like as much as I love doing this, I have to really prove to myself and to my family around me and my friends that like, yo, this is actually like legit. I'm serious about this. So from then on, I never took it as a joke. I was like, I have to fucking be successful. I have to do this.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I've never like slacked. I've never really like, I have slacked. I mean, like in a general sense. I mean, as in like, I've never like neglected the career, like the process of doing comedy and shit like that. Like I always tried to put in my efforts into everything I did, and I did that, and I kept on growing and growing. I did more shows. I made more connections. I got better and better, and people started noticing it more. And I was actually doing shit for once in my life, and it showed. And then that's when my parents started backing me up more and more and supporting me more and realizing, oh, okay, well, this guy has potential. He's actually doing something. He did this, right? And people are recognizing it, the talent. So I just eventually got to a point where they were 100% behind my back, and yeah, now it's pretty much all there.
Yeah, very respectable to like be able to see in yourself that yes, you were in school for a kin, but it wasn't necessarily what your passion was, and to make that decision to make the shift, because it takes a lot of like self-awareness and courage and confidence to do something like that. And like you said, it's just what you wanted to do. You knew it was what you wanted, and you moved forward into that. So,
Was the birds?
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's good.
But to be able to like make the switch and be confident about it and have that self-will and self-power, like, because I can imagine there could be doubtful times where maybe like you're kind of getting in your head about it, because it's a big goal and it's a big goal, big process, very achievable, because like you said, you're kind of in love with the art of what you're doing, and it's not something that you're just being forced into.
Okay, so I had to audition to get into this program, and I was really nervous, and then going into it, and then I had to do like stand up, some sketch, and then improv activities with the other with the other people auditioning. And then at the end, they're like, "Yo, we're gonna let you know if you get into the program after 2 to 3 weeks." And that I was like, "Oh fuck!" So I went home that night. I was like, "Shit! I gotta wait 2 weeks. This is so long. I'm stressing. Like I have to get in. I have to get in." Like literally a day later, or 2 days later, even I get an email saying like, "Oh, like you've been admitted into the program." I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah.
So that right there was a big boost too, because I was like, "Yo, they said 2 to 3 weeks," and on top of that, they auditioned 300 people, and they only let in 40. So I was like, okay, like I know this is for me, because like why the fuck would they accept me so fast, right? And like that's not bad. That's pretty good, right? So from there on, I was like pretty amped about that, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. So now, like, I know when I go into the program, I'm gonna start taking it serious. I'm gonna go ham, like I'm gonna go off. And then so that whole like from February till September came, I was just making YouTube videos every week, just like making skits, making random sketches of things that I thought were funny. A lot of it was dog shit content. It was fucking shit. Am I allowed to swear on this, by the way?
Yeah.
A lot of it was just horrible garbage, like videos, just so uncomfortable on camera, cringe worthy. I look back on some, I'm like, ugh, I want to throw up into my mouth. But like you have to start somewhere. Right? So when like I realized that, I was like, yo, I'm not gonna like bring myself down, because I know everyone has to start somewhere. I knew this from a young age. Surprisingly, I don't know. I'm lucky to like have that mindset early on, because I was like, because if I like just got discouraged after one video getting 100 views every week for fucking months, I wouldn't be here right now. I pushed through. I kept pushing through, and I was like, no, like I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna make this happen. And then I just kept doing it. I don't know. Something in me was like, nah, like you have to keep going. And then I just kept going, no matter how many people were doubting me around me, even too, not just online, getting no notoriety. People around me were like, nah, like you think this is the right choice, blah blah, all this bullshit. I had to deal with that shit too, and I didn't let that bring me down either. I was like, you know what? That actually made me fucking even more fiery. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this just so I could prove every motherfucker wrong. So I had to go. I had to go off just for myself, and to show all these motherfuckers who the real deal is. So I had to do it, and then I eventually got to September. The program started, and I immediately went and started doing stand up, because I was like, I told myself, as soon as I start the program that first week, getting settled in, I'm gonna start doing stand up on my own. I'm gonna start going out and doing stand up at open mics. I have to start somewhere. It's gonna be shit, terrible, which it was for months, and even a year, over 2 years. But I pushed through. Every single day I go out. Every night I travel 2 hours at least, just to do 5 minutes at an open mic in a fucking dungeon or an attic in front of two people who weren't even listening. One of them was a comedian, didn't give a fuck. Another one was drunk out of his mind. Like, And just to like at 2 a.m, just to do 5 minutes of shitty material no one fucking cares about, and then go back home and do this rinse and repeat every single day. I did that shit for months, and no one gave a fuck. No one knew. No one saw what I was doing. No one saw the grind, right? They just like thought I was just in comedy school. It's whatever, blah blah blah. Nah, man, I was putting in work. No one else was doing that shit, but me in that program especially. And so I just like started going ham, and then like that's how I started getting better on stage at least. And then my material slowly but surely got a little bit better too. And then yeah, I just started leveling up every single time because I knew because that it doesn't just happen randomly. It happens. You start leveling up when you start putting in the work for yourself. And so that's what I saw happen to me every single time. And I was like, okay, I never want to stop. And yeah, that's pretty much the process there.
Do you find with your success being like such a clear vision in your acting and comedy world, do you find that any other parts of your life have suffered that in the past or current, that you kind of had to find some more balance in?
Yeah, for sure. Like I definitely totally neglected my health all these years. Up until this point even, but like the past couple months has been great, but up until like 2 months ago for like 5-6 years doing comedy in general, just like I never give a fuck about my health, never really cared about like just like how I look or how I feel and all this shit. I just worried about my career. I just worried about comedy every single day and like trying to be the best, trying to be the best. I totally neglected the other side of my life. Until like 2 months ago, I took a break off social media, which is great, which is fantastic, was well needed. I started doing some stuff for myself finally, and then now I've carried on some of the. I'm back into the grind again, and it's been going well. And I've been losing weight. I've been feeling better.
You amazing. You're glowing, boy.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and just like I just trying to like be the best, honestly. And like I didn't realize that like to be the best in your craft, you have to be the best in your personal life too. So that's why I realized, and now I'm like leveling up even more, and that's it. So it's just a constant grind, a constant process. So that's it. It's everyday thing.
If you had to say one struggle about the transformation that you, or like the kind of small transformation you went through a couple months ago, what was the hardest part about it for you? If you had to choose one.
Definitely, yeah, not being on my phone.
Yeah.
But like honestly, it wasn't even that tough at first. Actually, no, it was easier, way easier than I thought. But just the fact that like it was just a big difference from like what I was doing before. That was the biggest thing. But like I honestly, the moment I knew I was taking a week off at least, or like 2 weeks, I was like, I'm not even thinking about my phone. Actually, like I went from using 14 to 16 hours on my phone a day to nothing, to literally zero. I barely, like I didn't even look at my phone for the first week I took off. And honestly, it didn't even phase me. It was weird, but that just shows like anything is possible, and you don't realize until you stop doing something that like if you miss it or not or whatever. Um, but I realized I didn't really miss the social media part. I just missed doing the content part. Things
Exactly.
that I originally loved doing is just fucking around. That's why I missed the most. Not like dealing with people, replying to DMs, comments. I don't really care as much about that, right? So yeah, that was definitely the biggest difference, but also it made me realize a lot.
What types of things did you pick up? Like you said, you had some new habits. What did you implement in your life that you didn't have before?
A lot of things. I started reading books. I've never read a book in my life, pretty much, until 2 months ago. I finished 3 books to this point already in 2 months,
What books did
and
sorry.
I read the first one I read was the fucking best. It was "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins. That shit changed my mindset completely. Literally, like I actually shifted my whole life reading that fucking book. It's crazy. David Goggins is the GOAT, man. And then I read Kobe Bryant, The Mamba Mentality. He's one of my favorite players of all time. One of my idols. Rest in peace,
Mm-hmm.
Kobe Bryant. He's inspired me a lot throughout my life in general, just through everything, to be the best I can at my own craft. And that's how much of an impact he had on people who don't even play basketball like that. You know what I mean? So that was definitely one that I really took a lot from. And then now I'm just about to finish Everything is Fucked by Mark Manson.
Great read. That's the one I've read out of those three.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, it's good. It's a good book. And then yeah, after that, just like things I find interesting about anything, any topic. So, um, definitely reading is one of the things I start doing, and then morning having a morning routine and a night routine. But most of all, more than anything, is organizing my days. So planning my days out. So by having a journal, a daily planner, I get to write in it every single day, schedule by schedule, like minute by minute, hour by hour, and I
Mhm.
get to write everything I need to do for that day, and that's how I just
You use the same one
stay
as
organized. Yeah, yeah, you have the same one. Nice.
has
So exactly.
questions.
Yep, and the questions, yeah, it's exactly what it looks like, yeah. And then I just ordered a new one too because I'm almost done this one. But yeah, that's been helping me a lot more than anything. And then also, yeah, like waking up and going for walks. Like I've never in my life gone for walks my entire life until 2 months ago, pretty much. Like every day I went. I didn't miss a day until like recently. I've missed a couple days, but like also I don't judge myself because I know this isn't like a short term thing. It's like this is your whole life. So if you miss a day or two, even like you shouldn't even like judge yourself because just go back and do it again the next day. Like there's no like limit to like how long you can go without like stopping or even like missing days. Like if you miss a certain day, a certain amount of days, then that's it. You're fucked. Like there's no such thing. So if you put a limit on yourself, that's when you're gonna fail ultimately.
Yeah.
So if you just keep your options open and you just kind of like accept the fact that you took the L, you learn from that, and then you just keep going the next day. That's it. Simple as that. So that's a big one for me. And then the hardest thing is developing a night routine, which is still I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fix my sleep. My sleep is fucking shit. It's terrible. And like I don't know. I just like I've been trying more and more things every day, but it's been tough. And but it's a process. So I'm just working on it.
Yeah, the sleep thing is tough, especially right now when everything isn't the way it normally is. Although a lot of people are thriving in the quarantine lifestyle, I find just like somewhat of the unknown disrupts my sleep. I've been waking up really, really, really early. I'm an early riser
Yeah,
already.
you're an early riser.
Like I think I messaged you the other morning when I woke up at 4, and you were up. You were up, and I was like, he hasn't slept yet, if I'm guessing. Those are the
Yeah,
time crossings.
that's crazy, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes I'm falling asleep at 7 right now, and I'm like, what is, and then I miss my night routine, and I'm like,
That's
the night,
insane.
the night routine is the hardest thing to establish for me with consistency. Morning routine, I find it's like I'm excited for it. I'm like,
Yeah, same.
morning time, I get to do everything. But the
Yeah,
time is the time where, but you said providing compassion and acceptance for the times where you're not perfect and you can learn from it.
yeah. I just like I actually don't. I love sleeping. I don't like going to sleep. If that
Mm,
makes sense. Like I'm so like I'm just like if I could, I would just stay awake forever and just keep doing shit I like. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't get tired, like I like staying up and doing shit. You know what I mean? I like doing shit. Like I like working on my videos, like writing shit, editing stuff. I love doing that. It's just like, unfortunately, that's not how it is. But
yeah.
yeah,
Can you please tell the listeners the hardest thing about learning a TikTok dance?
it's just practice. Honestly, it's a workout in itself. If you don't wanna go to the gym or some shit or run, do a TikTok dance. I swear to God, that shit has me gassed after like 20 minutes. It takes me like about half an hour to an hour sometimes to perfect a dance, and then I eventually get it. And then like me, I mean like I'm naturally like I'm good at dancing. Like I'm at least decent. I know my, you know what I mean. Like I'm not I'm good. Like I'm coordinated. I can learn dances quickly. I can pick up on things quickly. But like on average, people will probably take them like days to learn these things, and like for me, it takes like an hour, which I'm lucky for because,
Neema.
huh?
You grind.
I fucking grind, right? Dude, I've fucking been doing this, okay? But no,
Okay, Gary.
so yeah, honestly, it's just like, just you know what helps the most is doing it step by step. So just do the first move a bunch of times, start it again, do this first move, and then the next one, add the next one, add the next one, add the next one, and then eventually you got the whole dance. And that's it. Pretty simple.
And I've noticed on Instagram, there's been quite some, like, since you took your time off, you came back, your following has increased. Your
Hmm.
content, of course, has been fire. It's been
Thanks.
the content with you and your mom. I mean, like, knowing your mom personally, like seeing how sweet she is, and like seeing her just be so fire with you on camera.
Yeah.
I just like want to cry because I'm so proud of her, because I remember her being like, I don't want to go on camera, like I don't know if I'm gonna look good, like
Yeah,
blah
I
blah.
know.
And now she's
Exactly,
like,
right?
yeah, with Callie,
Now
and you
she's a star. She's a star.
boss.
Yeah, she's a star.
She is. Your mom is. How'd you get the idea to start the whole like pretending to be your mom skit?
Oh, I've been doing that. That was one of the first videos I ever did on my
Yeah.
YouTube channel in 2014. Because I've always made fun of my mom's accent and just like imitated her and stuff. And like in my family gatherings as a kid, just like, my whole life I've been doing this. So that's why I'm so good at doing it, because my whole life has been practice for this moment. And so that's why I'm like, I've mastered it. Like there's no one can do this better than me, right? So
Oh,
that's my number one thing. Like, you know what I mean? And I've just been like, I'm so close to it. It's easy for me to do. It's like, it doesn't even feel like it's work or anything. Like, it literally feels like I can just turn it on at any moment.
it's like a second part of you.
Second nature. And also because me and her actually look alike a lot too. And I just like, we're so close. Like our like souls are just like together, so close. I don't know. It's just like weird. Like everything we do is the exact same. Like our mannerisms, our laugh, the way we handle certain things, the way we talk to people, like it's very similar in a way. So that's why it's easier for me to do. That's why it's harder for me to do my dad, because me and him aren't as alike as I am with my mom.
Do you
But I
find,
can still do it. But I'm sorry.
sorry, I was gonna say, do you find Omid more like your dad out of the two of you?
Yeah, my brother. Yeah. They're more alike. Yeah, definitely in their own ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also look more alike than I do with my mom.
So true.
Actually, like I look nothing like my brother.
Now I'm
We
looking at
look,
what?
huh?
What'd you just say?
We look nothing alike.
Oh, I said now I'm looking at you, like now I'm pretending you're Omid, but yeah, you don't.
You can't.
Your hair is so different.
That's what I'm saying. We're complete. I swear one of us is adopted, 100%.
It's not you.
No, it's not. There's no way, because I look too much like my mom.
Yeah.
And I do have like my dad's nose, I think, and like same chin and shit. So I don't know. It's probably my brother who's adopted for sure.
Makes sense, obviously.
Yeah. Hey.
Where were we? So we were talking about, yeah, I kind of got lost there. I did want to ask you a question about, you mentioned some of the people that you read, like some of the people you read their books, but just in way of like people you look up to in the media or in your own personal life, who are those people for you?
Kobe Bryant was definitely one of them. Unfortunately, he's gone. But
Rest in peace.
yeah, I fucking cried. I cried for days after, because that shit was hard. I didn't think I'd ever be affected by a celebrity death like that. But like, I just looked up to him so much, it made me fucking so emotional. And because he helped me a lot through a lot of shit in my life, just in general, just to have that like tenacity and that like poise to like just get through shit and like push through. I got it from Kobe Bryant, honestly. Just like seeing him play every day, and like, I know it's like sounds dumb, but like it's mentality is like none other. And like that's where I feel like I've learned my mentality is through him, and like just like other people obviously throughout the years, but mostly seeing him playing, like being the greatest at his craft, seeing how fucking hard he pushes, how much work he puts in to just be the best at his craft every single day, pushing through injuries and shit. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's resilient. He's persistent. Like he doesn't give up on his craft, and that's why he's one of the greatest.
And you know what else I really like about Kobe is that he comes from a place of like everything was a place of love and compassion and just real
Exactly.
kindness. And as a man, especially a very like has so much respect, so much popularity, he used a positive way to influence his daughter, a positive way to influence women and men. Like he just from a female perspective, because sometimes things can be a little bit different. Sorry, I keep flipping my hair. Jeez. He was really empathetic and very, I
Yeah, I
think
know.
the role he set for people like you is amazing, because now people like you, and it's big right now, so that you can use your influence to carry that positive message forward for him. So anything coming up for you that is exciting? Like, do you have any? I know right now comedy, like stand up is kind of off the table.
Standing up is hard, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you're
It's
gonna be okay
really
with
hard standing up.
this.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I know right now going to stand up shows isn't as much of a thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to ask
I
that question. I'm
I
learning.
good. I don't have a lot. Obviously with stand up, obviously this shit's on hold for another like 3 months at least, I think. Or even when the clubs open up and back again, I doubt people are gonna go to shows, honestly, or people like big crowds are gonna come to like shows or live events. Like I just don't see it happening for the next like year or so, honestly. Which is scary. I'm like, man, like especially with stand up, it's like we work on our craft every day to get better, and like now it's just on a hold for a year. Like it's like taking a year break. It's like unheard of. Even taking a week off stand up is unheard of in the stand up community, because like that means like, oh, you're like you've given up, or like no, not giving up, but like you're slacking. You know what I mean? A week, even a month, right? So a year off would be like, I don't know, like some people are gonna, for sure, some people are gonna fall off. Some stand-up comedians are gonna fall off. They're gonna end up quitting. They're gonna like give up. Um, Even the ones who come back, they're gonna be rusty. Even if they do come back, even it's opportunities, I feel like won't be the same, because like not, I feel like not a lot of people will want to like have big crowds and shit anymore to like for us to perform in front of, right? So it's like gonna be weird. But
I know.
I don't know. That's why me, in a way, I'm very lucky and I'm very grateful to have what I have now, which is my online shit.
Yeah.
Without that stuff, like I can imagine what it'd be like not having this stuff, which a lot of comedians I know don't have. They don't have an online presence at all. They don't do anything online. They just do stand up strictly, or like they write shit for TV, but that's done too. So I'm like, what are you doing now?
Ah,
Right? They're doing nothing. You're doing nothing. So I'm like, in a way, I take that as a positive, as in like, okay, well, I'm actually like, fine if this shit is gone for a while. Like I miss stand up obviously, and that's like my main thing. But it's like at the same time, why not just like use the time effectively to grow my online brand, right? So which is what I'm doing. I've been doing this whole time. So for me, it's not that bad. But like, yeah, like in terms of stand up, there's nothing going on. But yeah, I'm on a couple TV shows coming up. I'm Amazon Prime, The Boys. I'm in the season 2 premiere coming July 26th, I believe. I learned a bunch of Arabic lines because I had to speak Arabic, which is fucking so fun. And then it was a super cool scene. So I'm excited for it to come out. And I also just because I just left my agency, my acting agency, to I signed with another one with my old agent, because my agent that I was with this old agency, she got let off. Like they let go of her, so she got like kind of fucked over. But now she got signed with another agency, so it's like, so she signed me back onto her and
sick.
her list, so her roster. So I'm good for that. That's good to go now, and yeah, I'm excited for the future. So yeah,
Look at you go. Love it.
yeah.
One piece of advice you could give to yourself back when you were younger, 13 or 14, about where you are now, if you could give yourself one piece of advice.
Oh my god, just fucking do it. Don't wait to do shit. Like just go for it, because what's the point of waiting? Like you're wasting time just like guessing or like caring about other people's opinions. Don't do that. That's the number one thing right there.
Yo, I respect you so much for that. I mean, that's one thing where in some of the past episodes that have been discussed, we've talked about self-confidence and kind of like dealing with the fear of other people's opinions. And since the moment I met you, that's one thing that's been so consistent with you, that shit just bounces off, and in the most positive way. I respect you so much for that, because to
Thanks.
have that innate in you and not have, I'm sure you've worked on it. Everybody's worked on it.
Yeah.
Not to say it's just easy, but to have,
Mm-hmm.
like you're saying, it be a bit more natural is incredible. I remember we're leaving one of the one of the shows.
Yeah, the shows, yeah, the comedy shows, yeah.
And some guy was chirping your shoes. And I was, first off, you know me, I'm from Barrier. I'm like, what's wrong with your shoes? Like,
I know. They're fucking fire, bud.
your shoes are fantastic.
Fuck yeah, pal.
So comfortable. But, and you're just like the fact that he had even said that to you just bounced right off of you. And to me, I'm like, why was that guy insulting your shoes? That was so rude. And you're like, Nicole, don't worry about it. And just every time I've worried about shit, you're like, stop worrying about it. Like, other people's opinions don't matter. So, like,
yeah.
Round of applause, literally, to have that, especially on the topic of the podcast being, like, young and stuck.
Yeah, for sure.
Advice, great influence, great positivity.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I've dealt with that so much in my life that I've completely gone past that point of caring, because I used to get affected by that shit all the time in high school. I was like known to like, I used to care so much about what people thought about what I was wearing. My hair was like, the way my face looks when I smile, the way my lips look when I'm just resting, everything, like stupid shit. Like the way I'm walking, like I'd be so self-conscious about fucking everything. It would ruin me. And I started blaming other people for it, blaming certain situations that didn't go my way on that stuff. And then like, it's just a vicious cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized finally, I'm like, man, like I don't give a fuck. Like I'm doing what I like and I know I'm good at it. Like, look at all these people. Like they're just like insecure with themselves. That's why they're trying to bring it out on me. And that's when I changed my perspective of everything, and what ultimately made me just think better, more positive, and just happier in general. So, and it's just gotten better and better. And then now I'm like, I hear comments like that, and it literally like, I'm like, okay, anything else? And I just like, I literally forget about it as soon as we leave. It's like, I'm that's already in the back. Like, I don't care. I'm actually so comfortable wearing these shoes. Nothing will change that. Nothing.
I like your shoes.
Imagine. Thank you. Imagine like living your life, walking around, and every single time someone pointed out something, you have to go and change it. How fucking exhausting is that?
You wouldn't be yourself.
That's what I'm saying. So why not just fucking accept it, even if it's shit? Who cares? I know my style isn't the best, but at least I know for a fact I'm comfortable wearing my shit. And man, like I wear this, like we've mentioned many times before, I wear the same shit all the time, right? And I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna do a whole campaign for it. Like I don't give a fuck, right? And
that meeting we had.
Yeah, the shirt thing. Yeah. So, I've only my whole life I've gone like wearing like one pair of shoes for like an extended period of time, and like them being even ripped to a certain point. Like yeah, at some point like it's good to be professional, but like in certain situations, like it's not a huge deal for if it's like if it's old or whatever. Like it doesn't really matter. But like I've only changed my clothes when someone else was like, "Yo, you have to change." Like someone like who was like literally like a close family member saying like, "Yo, please, like let me just buy this for you," and like they insisted and shit. I'm like, okay, fine, like I get it. It's like it's torn. I should probably just get new shoes, right? Like I'm not that like I just don't care. Like I'm not that I don't care in a bad way. I'm just like I'm not worried about other people's opinions, and I'm comfortable and happy doing what I'm doing and what I'm wearing. And yeah, if I'm uncomfortable wearing something, I'm gonna obviously change it or like I'll get something new. But until that happens, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and just because somebody criticizes what you wear doesn't mean there's anything wrong with what you're wearing. They just don't like it.
Exactly. It's what they think.
Yeah, it's what they
think. Not what you think. Yeah, exactly.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So if you want to shout out where people can find you on social media, where would that be?
I'm on Neemanaz on every platform, every single platform actually. Yeah, I recently got to change my name to Neemanaz on pretty much every platform, which is dope. I got the Neemanaz name, and then Twitter is just Neemanaz TV. I couldn't change that, but yeah, but Neemanaz, and then yeah, that's on every platform. TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram. I just signed up on Twitch, Neemanaz. I'm gonna do live streams there, and then what else is there? Twitter. I said that. Oh, I'm on Byte, Neemanaz. It's a new Vine. Fucking so many apps. God damn it.
You're on it all.
So yeah, I'm on it all, baby. Let's get it. Let's get this work.
Thank you so much for giving me an hour of your time today. It's always lovely talking to you. And yeah,
I don't know what to say now. Really
Thank you for having me. This was great, and I hope the rest of the episodes have been going well, and I hope you improve from here, which you will if you keep doing it. Don't give up. If you give up, I swear to fucking God. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.